Good day, Dr. Fadillah. We are from Group 3 going to present our poster about the domestic inquiry. Now I would like to shortly brief about the introductions of domestic inquiry. Domestic investigation in Malaysia are crucial for fair employment, ensuring legal accountability, and promoting a more accessible work environment. They also give employees a chance to defend themselves against suspected misconduct. Its main purpose is to give the excused employee a fair chance to explain their side while ensuring any disciplinary actions is justified and follow the rules. The process includes gathering evidence, interviewing witnesses, and making decisions fairly. Importantly, the panel conducting the inquiry must be unbiased and independent. Why are domestic inquiry important? They help maintain discipline, protect the company reputation, and build trust between the employee and the management. If the process isn't done properly, employees could claim unfair treatment and even constructive dismissal. The issues and problems that domestic inquiry face can be biased and equitable if significant facts of claim charge are not disclosed. The inquiry finds an employee without prior notice, potentially causing anxiety, and the inquiry panel lack impartiality or appropriate authority. In short, domestic inquiry ensure fairness, protect the organization, and uphold trust in the workplace. That's all for my part, and now I would like to pass to the next presenter. Thank you.
Now, I will present an overview of the pre, during, and after domestic inquiry process. For the pre-domestic inquiry, the poster highlights that most companies do not appoint panels members or prepare a report on investigations. Others process, like preparing investigative documents, show cause letters, and notice of inquiry are also skipped by one or two companies. Fuchan F&B Groups has the least process in place for pre-domestic inquiry. On the other hand, companies like Genting Malaysia, Chevrolet Assist, McDonald, Taiko Consultant, MiPTE Limited, and Commonwealth Concept have completed all steps in this phase. For during domestic inquiry, the poster showed that many companies do not conduct a key step, such as selecting a prosecuting officer or inquiry panels, recording and formatting minutes, and examining witness and the accused. Some food trading and Fuchan F&B groups only have one process, which is submitting case evidence and report. However, companies like Chevrolet Assist, Taiko Consultant, Concord Corporations, MiPTE Limited, and Commonwealth Concept have completed all steps during this phase. Lastly, for the after domestic inquiry, most companies do not communicate with employees after the inquiry. However, Genting Malaysia, Chevrolet Assist, McDonald, Taiko Consultant, and MiPTE Limited have completed all process in the after inquiry phase.
For the recommendation for their processes, first, when pro-domestic inquiry, must make sure they have standardization. Under Section 14, employees need to have due inquiry before imposing penalty to them. So with the fair standard, it can measure employees to be given opportunity for addressing the accusation. And the next is formation of an inquiry panel. It means that inquiry panel should be chosen to conduct the investigation. These panels could be senior employees or impartial third parties, so they make sure fairness in decision making. This is necessary in company to allow the employees have the rights for arguing case, questioning investigators, and asking for proof. And third is issuance of a notice of inquiry. It is the notification in writing way above allegation, date, time, and place before the investigation. Under Section 20, Number 1, where employees are fired without cause or explanation, they can submit written complaint to Malaysia Ministry of Human Resources and also request constructive dismissal. During implemental inquiry, cross-examination and right of the accused should be included in this procedure. It is important for examining the evidence from parties to ensure reliability of the statements. And the next is that proper documentation. It records all stages of the domestic inquiry process, such as evidence presented and witness statements. Under Section 20, employees can challenge dismissals if without reasonable cause. So if without the documentation, employer would not have the proof to justify the dismissal. Under Section 30, the industrial codes are guided by the principles of equity, good conscience, and the substantive merits of the case. So the documentation must be clear to make sure employer act in good faith and fairness. The training for human resource personnel and inquiry panels also need to be implemented because Section 23 shows that experience and knowledge are important for dealing industrial relation issues. So the same principle must be applied to human resource personnel and the panels. Later domestic inquiry process, it is suggested to issue a decision letter to avoid from misunderstanding and possible litigations. This can make employee to be aware of its content and the right to appeal. Section 14 states the statutory limits of an employer's power to dismiss an employee. It states that a due inquiry must be made before dismissal. Under Section 20, workers have the right to make a representation to the industrial court if they feel their dismissal without cause. So the decision letter is crucial because it gives the formal records in the process of dismissal and explains the reasons for them. The next suggestion is that communication with employees. According to Section 13, where any of the above companies terminates an employee without giving notice, there must be proper communication. This can build trust, increase transparency, and make sure employees to understand about the decisions.
So, we can conclude that companies that are fully compliant with the domestic inquiry process are Silverlet Assist, Tyco Consultants Sendirian Berhad, and MI Private Limited. The challenges that had been identified was inconsistency in standardization due to the wide gaps in procedure, fairness, and transparency. Besides, it is also lack of documentation and communication. It's because of the poor record in keeping and insufficient communication with employees. In addition, inadequate training also one of the challenges that had been identified. HR professional and investigation teams was lack proper training and to implement the domestic inquiry. Lastly, non-compliance led to legal risks and reduced employees' trust, which caused the legal and trust issues. In contrast, the benefit for compliance with the domestic inquiry will totally reduce legal risks, increase employee trust, and also enhance reputation as a fair and ethical employer. Now I'll pass to the next presenter. Thank you.
I'll be sharing forward-looking approaches to enhance domestic inquiry DI processes, focusing on ensuring fairness, transparency, and legal compliance. First and foremost, integrating technology is a key approach to improving efficiency. Automate DI processes with digital platforms and case management software to enhance efficiency and reduce errors. Building on this, data-driven decision-making is another crucial strategy. By analyzing trends from past inquiries, organizations can identify recurring issues and refine their processes proactively. Data insights support better policy making and help address systemic challenges before they escalate. Furthermore, regular audits and compliance checks play a vital role in ensuring adherence to standards. Frequent audits ensure that DI procedures meet legal standards and organization objectives. These checks uncover gaps, mitigate risks, and reinforce a culture of compliance and fairness. Finally, continuous improvement ensures that DI processes stay aligned with legal and ethical standards. Aligning DI process with evolving legal and ethical standards fosters transparency and trust. Continuous refinement not only protects employee rights, but also strengthens the organization's reputation as a fair and ethical employer. That's all from Group 3, and we look forward to any questions or feedback you might have. Thank you for your time and attention.